On the domestic front, the challenges of climate change, including drought last year and floods this year, have contributed to a significant increase in the cost of living. Further pressure from high debt service has forced the government to make haircut budget adjustments on essential public sector development programs. The situation is so tight that we have been forced to make difficult decisions to keep our country in motion and avoid public confrontation with the people, particularly our youth, who have recently expressed their displeasure about the cost of living and lack of jobs through public demonstrations. This has slowed down the implementation of the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, thus stifling our ambitious vision of economic and social transformation. The government is setting up digital centers across the country to enable Kenyans to access government services online and create jobs for the youth. The target is to digitize 80% of critical government services. This digitization plan also requires the procurement of government tenders be done online through the e-procurement system, which the Treasury has elaborated on. This is being piloted in 12 public entities, leading up to the target launch on January 1st, 2025. Digitization can disrupt corruption by reducing discretion, increasing transparency, and enabling accountability by dematerializing services and limiting human interactions. It also allows for more effective oversight by smarter accountability institutions and data-savvy civil society. It should also put rogue elements in our procurement system on notice. The overarching goal for these initiatives is to improve the business climate and expand opportunities for micro, small, and medium enterprises to increase their contribution to national development. A more vibrant MSME sector will procure more locally available goods and services, thus creating jobs, shielding the economy from imported inflation, and spurring development of our local industry. My challenge to you, therefore, today is to reflect on how you can position your profession to support our country's development agenda. You have an opportunity to change the negative perception and blanket condemnation about your noble profession by ensuring that your members operate within the laid down legal and regulatory frameworks. Your profession can play a more strategic role in helping Kenya navigate the complex issues that it is experiencing. To do this, you need to address systemic weaknesses and loopholes in the supply chain and procurement system, particularly the following, just to sample a few. First, you must rise above the 10% cut label that is synonymous with the procurement practice. Weed out bureaucrats, suppliers, and procurement officers engaging in corrupt practices such as bribery, embezzlement, kickbacks, and tender rigging that undermine transparency and fairness in public service delivery. Second, you have to enhance transparency in the procurement process by addressing issues such as non-disclosure of information and processes that can breed mistrust and suspicion among stakeholders. As you look at the law, please also pay some special attention to the procurement processes under the PPP. Because as much as we want to encourage public-private partnerships, at the end of the day, we are engaging with public resources as well in some of these areas. So, as you craft and look at the law under procurement, PPP is also some form of procurement. So it will call for better scrutiny so that we have better practices going forward and we can build confidence. Procurement and supply chain management is central to the growth and transformation of our country to a middle-income industrialized nation. You can help improve the situation and safeguard the livelihoods of our people, particularly if you embrace the technological advances driving your industry, including artificial intelligence, blockchain, and cloud computing. Ideally, you should be helping to ease the pain of the government by ensuring that all procurement processes deliver value for money for the people. Unfortunately, you stand in an awkward position where the supply chain and procurement community is blamed for the most rampant cases of public sector fraud and corruption that have constricted the growth of our country. You are certainly aware of Goldenberg, Anglo-leasing, and other grand cases of corruption. It was also widely reported in 2021 that Kenya loses close to 2 billion shillings daily on corruption, mostly related to procurement rigging. We have had cases of tender documents being tailor-made to fit somebody's size, so that from the word go, you literally know who is going to be the beneficiary. I think you need to work very clearly so that you can distinguish and help us crack this very difficult nut, because there must be a separation of the specifications and the procurement process. If you go to some specialized area, like it's medical equipment, very specific medical equipment, who gives the specifications and then who does the procurement? Is it one and the same person? So we need to be very careful so that at what stage can you help us crack this nut so that we are not part of a process that is built very, very carefully, and then it becomes very difficult to deal with the challenges that we are facing. Some of the things that we end up procuring, as somebody, I think the chairman said, it becomes embarrassing when you take a walk somewhere out of the country and you go and see what the cost of that item is and what you paid for it in your own country. You get embarrassed, you get shocked, because somebody ametucheza, mtu ametucheza, ama watu wametucheza.
Dr. Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary, and professional colleagues, heads of procurement and supply to be here. Indeed, we are happy to welcome you to the Day 4 of the Secretariat. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again, all our speakers and participants, and we thank you very much.
And there are organizations in those boards. So we request that
the chief guest, the chief executive officers, while we are
kwa ile picha ambayo ni makini zaidi.